times and refuses to comment.
Well, absolutely, and I just find it interesting. I don't want to get too much into that, but I'm just stating that WWE has become more and more self-conscious about their public image, especially since they went off and became a publicly traded company.
Well, you can't exactly blame them. They have become a bigger empire now than they have ever.
Well, but at the same time, I mean, from a fan standpoint, the product is really lacking. But I
Yeah,
mean, while they're trying to go off and they're trying to keep so many people happy. I mean, they lost during the Attitude Era, which many people considered to be
best era.
the best era, the golden age of professional wrestling. They lost a lot of their sponsors because of the stuff that they felt like they needed to do to stay relevant. Now I could go off and I could bring up a whole debate that all the WWE really needed to do was to hold on until WCW imploded, which they did. And maybe someday I'll actually go off and go into further detail as to why WCW, which seemed like this huge juggernaut, was just the Titanic. It was, getting ready to hit that iceberg, which, it it didn't have to be. I mean, it's quite possible that if that company had been managed properly, that we could still see, WCW to this day.
Oh, and honestly, I kind of miss the days of the WCW. It was always fun to watch, always worth watching. And it feels weird that we're down to one company.
Well, I mean, there's not necessarily down to one company, but the number two and number three company are, pretty much very distant. And I know there's many fans that wish death on TNA, which is WWE's closest competition. I don't personally do, but I mean, there's again another company that's been really mishandled, which is a pity. And then there's Ring of Honor, which honestly, if you're purists as far as professional wrestling, I encourage you to go to Ring of Honor. You can check them out. ROHWrestling.com, I believe, is their website. They have some awesome wrestling there. In fact, I'm going to go off on the 22nd of October. I will be down in Minneapolis. I brought this up before to go off and see another wrestling company, which kind of takes elements of lucha libre from Mexico and the Japanese hardstyle from Japan, obviously, called Chikara. So now,
which I do believe that the mask guy is bringing back Captain Fizz some propaganda material.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I will be there. I am planning to wear a Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show T-shirt of some sort. I know that we haven't actually come out with an official one, but I will go find some T-shirt shop and I will make myself one so that I am there, full force to go off and show the world just how awesome we are.
Just make sure, no matter how much fun you have down there, that you are back for Halloween.
I have every intention. I'm only going to be down there for a couple of days.
We have a huge interview coming up, and we got Comic-Con coming up, and I can't do this solo.
Oh, yeah, and speaking of Comic-Con, of course, talking about the Central Canadian Comic-Con, or as we call it up here, C4.
Not to be confused with Dynamite.
Not to be mistaken with the wrestling company in southeastern Ontario called C4. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I've seen some of their matches, pretty good. Check it out online, C4 Wrestling. If you're a purist like I am, you'll truly enjoy it.
And if you like Canadian.
But anyways, I'm pulling myself back out of the rabbit hole just for a couple minutes. For those people who aren't aware, C4 went up and announced last weekend that former WWE heavyweight champion Rob Van Dam will be coming to this year's event, which is pretty huge. In past years, we've had
a lot of wash-ups.
Well, we've had, several legends. I mean, we've had WWE Hall of Famers like Ted DiBiase and Kevin Nash. We've had Tommy Dreamer as well, and Luke of the Bushwhackers, and the Honky Tonk Man, and Virgil, which, honestly, other than the fact that we could say that he was Ted DiBiase's bodyguard, there's nothing I could really say positive about him.
He was a wash-up.
And Bret the Hitman Hart was, even came a couple of years ago. So
I stand corrected. When it comes to, the C4, or what is known as C4 now, I'm not a huge up and up when it comes to the wrestling. I'm definitely more of the actors, actresses, and, the one I actually enjoy, which I wasn't able to partake in this year, it's not so much a comic convention, but it's a car show. And they bring in a lot of different, actors and all that. Henry Winkler one year, who, if you don't know who Henry Winkler you are very deprived as a child. He was the Fonz on Happy Days.
The Fonz, yeah.
Also, he was in Click. He was the magician father who can eat a quarter. and I met the original Daisy Duke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catherine. Honestly, it doesn't matter on whether you go to the Comic-Con, you dress up, or you don't dress up. Definitely take part in, the atmosphere, the environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
These people spend almost 365 days a year bringing these people in for you, setting these booths up, making sure these artists are happy, just so you have that ability to understand and recognize how important each and every single one of these people are.
I can't argue with you, man. You're completely right. And so, going back to Rob Van Dam, it's pretty exciting. Again, I have stated this before. We will be going off and we will be posting images from C4 on our Instagram, which will then go to Tumblr.
If there are any pictures of us in handcuffs, it's because we tried to kidnap him.
But I don't know. There's a lot of celebrities there this year that I'm very interested in seeing.
Yeah,
so,
no,
Sylvester McCoy is definitely top of my list. I believe it's the 8th Doctor. Yeah, we're going to go with the 8th Doctor.
I don't know. I've started to catch up on the Doctor, so or Doctor Who, so I'm kind of up to par. Rose is no longer in the show. That's as far as I've gotten. We're now on some.
Oh, we're going. You're going to go through the dark era of Doctor Who.
Yes,
then.
yes. I have found the Master.
The Master. Oh, there we go. Honestly, and just again, David Tennant is probably my favorite of the new Doctors.
If David Tennant ever came to the city, I think I'd cry like a fangirl.
Honestly, man, I love him, man. I liked him better than Matt Smith. That's saying something because I thought Matt Smith was phenomenal as the Doctor.
Matt Smith was which one?
He was the... Oh, guys, help me out here. I think he was the 11th Doctor.
Is that before?
He was the one that was before the current one.
I have no...
Tall, skinny guy, British.
They're all
had
British.
A bow tie.
They're all British. What are you talking about? Oh, he was the little fresh, prissy boy. So we're going to play some music, and then we're going to come back.
Prissy boy!
Yes, prissy boy.
Oh.
So we will be back with a lot more us.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was some glorious music, don't you think?
Yeah, it was a nice little nap I had there. Boy, is that boring.
I'm bopping and beaving and whopping and weaving. I don't know.
I don't know. Come on. Compared to our opening music, that one's a bit of a snooze fest.
You know what's also a snooze fest?
Tell me there, Captain.
Going to bed.
Yes.
I honestly believe that you know, some of the shows on TV nowadays are kind of a snooze fest.
Yep.
You know, we have exited from the shows where we love, like, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, Flash, Gotham, Walking Dead, and I don't know, every time you turn around now there's a reality TV show. Big Brother, Amazing Race.
Are they still doing some of the shows? Like, I know about Big Brother. My wife's a fan of Big Brother. They're actually doing auditions for Big Brother Canada.
Yeah, I tried out for it, and they told me I was too much of an ass.
Did you really? I don't believe you.
I walked in, told them they all sucked, and they told me to walk away. That was my interview.
Somehow I doubt that really happened, but okay.
It happened in my head. You really think I'm going to walk up to some sort of reality TV show, call them all asshats, and try to walk away? If I did that, they'd honestly recruit me to their show.
They would. It's awesome. You're going to be the villain.
Oh, great. You know what? Me, the villain. Yeah, that seems like a brilliant idea.
They would vote you off week 1.
You know what? You
would have to win every single competition.
I would walk in the house, go, asshat, you're out. All right, bye. That would be my stay in the Big Brother house. There would be an infamous hole in the wall of where I tried to run through. There would be a black mark in the kitchen where I burnt it down. The pillows would no longer be stuffed. I would be the only house guest who's willingly sneaking alcohol in.
They have alcohol.
I would sneak in my own. Why? Because I can and I will. Screw the house rules. You know, I don't understand.
Also, I just think that, you know, you wouldn't be able to survive, 3 months without your cell phone.
You know what? That's not entirely true. I would quite enjoy it because, one, the insistent buzzing would stop. 2, the game requests would stop. 3, the texting me at 4 o'clock in the morning would stop. Basically, I could actually live life without having to talk to anyone. Screw it, I'd be in a house full of people.
Yeah, you would.
Well, there
if you
goes that
wanted
idea.
to honestly go off and win the game, you'd have to actually pretend that you like people.
Well, I'd be screwed from day one.
No
walk in, it's like, I don't know you, but I don't like you. And that would be my own reflection. That's the worst part. The only person in the entire house I would talk to would be my own reflection. I'd be the crazy guy sitting in the corner going, they're all staring at me. They're all staring at me. Why are they staring at me? Why are they staring at me? And I can imagine you in the house, walking around, giving everybody big giant hugs. I love you all.
Yeah, that's not me. I'd be the guy that would go off and be plotting behind everyone's back and feeling terrible about it.
You know, could you imagine me sneaking up behind people in the Big Brother house going, I know what you did, all day long. Doesn't matter what they did. Doesn't matter who they are. I know what you did. It's the best way to knock them off their game. It's how I win every competition. I know what you did. It's the perfect surefire way to win.
Or it would be the surefire way to get your butt kicked out the door if you aren't able to win any of the competitions.
You mean the goal is to not get kicked out?
Yes.
Oh, here I thought the quicker you get kicked out, the better the winner you are.
No.
Oh, well, in my books, the faster you get kicked out of the house, the better you are. Which is why I'm not on reality TV.
No kidding.
They wouldn't have to be, or they wouldn't be rated PG anymore. It'd be rated R.
Well, you know what they do? They go off and, if you swear, they just go off and censor it out. They censored it out.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of censoring. I'd be keeping the censors busy. Butt cheek. We're doing a competition. Butt cheek. Yeah, no, I can see myself on a reality TV show. I think I'm going to try out.
The only reality show I can see you on is Cops.